So I've got an interesting treasure hunting story. You know, I mentioned it on my YouTube channel sometimes. So I had a guy who lives in Florida, and I'm not gonna be able to give you a lot of information on this, but this is just really so cool and interesting. I have to share this with everybody. And he said, "You know, Joe, I've got a story for you about this guy had this property. He's dead now. Didn't trust the banks. Pretty sure he buried some stuff on the property, both cash, maybe some silver, dollar coins, that kind of thing. Now, this was not back in the day. This is somewhat recent, as in probably the last 10, 15 years, I guess. And didn't have any. I mean, he had family, but he was on pretty bad terms with the family, so he didn't leave them anything. And allegedly, there's still some stuff on the property somewhere. So he says, Joe, I see you're into this stuff. Something just told me to reach out to you. Maybe we'll split it or something if you're interested in this. So I called him. He told me the whole story. And I thought, okay, well, it's not... I can drive there. It's in Florida. It's not too awfully long to get to. So I thought, well, and this was like 2 days ago. So I'm saying to myself, well, I've actually asked Desiree Sunday, I think I want to get a reading. And, part of me wanting a reading, which I told her Sunday, so I hadn't talked to this guy yet. Or did I? I don't know if I talked to him yet about it or what I was going to do, but part of it was like, I know a lot of people are hurting right now, locked down, they're out of a job, whatever. I've got a lot of people on my Patreon, I've got a lot right now. I can't believe how many people keep showing up. I'm blessed by that, by the way, all you Patreon members. I'm very thankful for you guys very much. But I said, I want to throw her a bone just because she might need it. And I'm going to be going back to my spot in New Mexico or one of them. And I'd like to go maybe this summer, like I'm saying, I definitely want to go in the end of the year around October or so, but I want to get back there earlier too. I don't want to let the whole year go by and not even go there once yet. Not including the one I did in March. I was just there briefly with my daughter, that doesn't count because we didn't really do any digging or anything. So I thought, maybe I'll ask her. Maybe I'll ask her a couple, I got this other side. I got that cave opening with little artifact things I think I'm looking at. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Sure, Michelle had just told me, did a reading for me. Unbeknownst to myself, I put that on Patreon. That was like an hour-long reading. And the first part of it was about the treasure stuff, and then at the end of it, it starts talking about Digibite, and it was a pretty awesome reading. I never even asked for it. Jared and then just decided, let's do it, and some cool stuff came out of that. So anyways, I was just asking a few questions about that cave that I kind of picked up from Sher Michelle to see if she got some of the same stuff. So I thought, okay, interesting. But right now, things aren't leading me back to the cave. Things are pointing to go to your main site, your buddy's private property site. Go to that one. You've done a lot of work there. You're almost there. And that's what she said again. You're like right there. Go work on that. Okay, got it. But I asked her, since this guy in Florida reached out to me, does the story sound legit? Like, is it just a story that someone told, or is there really potentially something still there? And supposedly the son of the guy had come back to the house and found something. I'll just leave it at that. Small amount, but it was definitely worth some money. Again, this is all allegedly. This is the story being told to me. So before I waste my time, well, I'm going to have a reading on Tuesday. I'll just ask her that. So I thought, oh, okay. So the first thing I did was ask her about this. And I mentioned part of the story, where the area is, and I said, I've got the guy's name, because if I can give Desiree the name, she can tap in to the person. And I've done this with 2 other people, treasure hunting people, that are now passed on from New Mexico. And I know she tapped into them, because she was telling me stuff there's no way she would have ever known, that I barely knew. And it was not just easy information to come across. So I knew she can do this. And I've got the guy's name, so this is great. So I tell her the name, and again, a little bit of the background story, and here's the guy's name. Is there anything there valuable still left? Is it in the house, which is dilapidated, falling apart, because it's an old house, the taxes hadn't been paid on, it's foreclosed, it's just kind of rotting away. And this guy basically bought it, and I guess wanted it for the land, and he doesn't care about the house, but not that it was a lot of land anyways. So he bought it, but he knows the story and thought, well, Joe, something's telling me to reach out to you. I'll split it with you. I'm like, well, okay. So anyways, I asked Desiree about it, and she says, well, I feel like there's two things still there. But before I even got to that part with her, right after I gave the name of the person who owned the house, who's now dead, she says, who is Craig? And I said, I didn't hear. I said, who's what? Who is Craig? I said, Craig? Yes. Who's that? I don't know. That's not this guy's name. I'm not sure. I don't know who Craig is. Oh. Okay, well, all right, well, let's see what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I hear her shuffling little cards in the background. She starts to tell me about it. Yeah, I believe there's 2 things left still that have not been discovered over there. I'm not going to go any further with where, because she gave me ideas of where to look and stuff. But she goes, those 2 guys I've channeled for you? It's like, you got at least one spirit guide. Whenever you go on these little missions, they're with you. They love it. They're like a treasure hunter. That's what they did. So whenever you go, they're like, oh, let's go. And they're there to help guide you. And I said, well, is it those other 2 guys we did? So-and-so and so-and-so? And she goes, let me see. Oh, yeah. Who's the one with the slur? Someone's got slurred speech. Yes, that's the other guy. It's the second guy. Okay. She's like, yeah. Yeah. That's them. They're coming with. Like, when you go, they're always there. They're rooting you on. That's what they did, and they're excited. They're excited to be there and basically kind of help you. And I thought, oh, how cool, even in Florida, huh? Okay, I'll take it. So she tells me this thing. It's only about, because I was doing a reading for myself too, and it was about 11 minutes long total for this reading about this guy, basically. And then I stopped the video because I just record my own videos so I can replay them later or whatever, and I turn it into audio. So I stopped that. Okay, got that one saved. All right, now let's continue on to my stuff. And then I asked her stuff about, well, my stuff. And she gave me some information again, And she's telling me you're getting really, really close to finding what you're looking for out there. Another, maybe a couple trips. I'm telling you, you're getting really close. And I said, well, what if I go in the summertime? I don't want to get back out there. I know it's hot. I don't normally want to go. And she goes, well, I feel like you could go and get something done. You'll get something done. She goes, but I also feel like if you go, something's going to pull you back. Like, oh, we got to leave. We got to go back to Florida or whatever. I got to go back home for some reason. And I thought, yeah, probably something political or, Trump cleaning house in the deep state or something. I got to get the hell out of there or something. I don't know. But I'm like, I just, even though it's going to be hot as hell in the summer, I got to get something done, And I really want to go back. But, so I get my reading. I'm done. And I bought this I went to Harbor Freight again. And they got these little, I actually saw this. I didn't see this one last time. It's a 2,000-pound winch. And it is from, that guy just texted me. I sent him a clip of her saying, who's Craig? Who's who? Craig? Yeah, who's Craig? I don't know. I sent it to him. He just replied, got it. Just to let him know, I'm not playing around. Like, she said this. And that's where I was going to go next with the story, which is funny. I'm literally about to speak the words. He sends a text. Boop. I'll call you in about an hour. All right. So I go to Harbor Freight. I'm going to pick up one. How much does this thing weigh? Can I put it in a backpack? It's really thin cable. And I'm grabbing it. Maybe it weighs like 20 pounds. I'm like, oh, yeah. This is the whole box and everything. I could put that in a backpack and hike with that for a bit. Okay. Because I'm thinking if I get over to this one spot, we think there's 2 locations in, and we think one's a triangle rock blocking an entrance, basically. It's not huge, but it might weigh 300 pounds. Maybe 400 pounds. And I'm like thinking, I know what it looks like. I could put a winch there, drill a thing into the rock, some, attaching gear type stuff, lags and whatever. Put that in there. I could put so I'm like, yeah, I can just carry. The other person can carry a little small 12-volt battery, a little small one, like a little tractor battery, or even those ones that you jumpstart your cars. I've got one. And it has the cables. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to do that with this. It just needs a little bit of power for 30 seconds. Should be able to do that. So I'm like, let me go get it. So I bought this winch. Of course, I get home, I open it up. It's missing the damn controller to go forward, backward. It's missing the plug-in to plug into a battery. What the It was the last one in stock. Come on. So I had to email support. Dude, it's missing freaking 2 things. Not that I'm in a hurry to go anyways, so I'll see what the email says. But once I got back in the car, which I didn't open it yet, but I opened it when I got home. I got in the car, started driving home with this winch in the back. I called him to tell him I spoke to Desiree today, 10 o'clock in the morning, about your site. And she says there's 2 things there that haven't been found yet. And blah, 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 you know. When do you want to go? He goes, I don't know. He's like, it's funny, the economy's kind of crappy right now, but I'm real busy earning some money right now, working, doing some stuff. And I said, oh yeah, good. So I said, well, I've got all the time in the world now. I don't have a day job to go to. So if you want to, just tell me when you think you want to go, and we'll just go. Okay, I'm going. It's not a very far drive for me. And I think for him too, it's about the same time. So we'll just meet up over there. I'll bring my metal detector, even though he said there's a lot of trash in the yard and stuff. Whatever, I'll bring it anyways, and I'll try to set it to maybe gold and silver only kind of a thing. But at the same time, there may be other valuables that's not gold and silver. So I may not have to do it after all. I just leave it open and dig every damn thing that goes off. So anyways, I called him to tell him, dude, she says there's a couple of things in there, and blah blah blah. So he just starts talking again. I completely had already forgotten that she said anything about the name Craig. That was out of my mind because it was right off the bat. I don't know any Craig. All right, keep going. And we went on. And he says to me, oh yeah, this mutual friend of mine and this guy that died that owned the house, Craig, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, what name? What's his name? Craig. Craig? Oh my God, dude, you just reminded me. You're not going to believe this. You will not effing believe this. What? I just remembered, now that you said it, it hit me. First words out of her mouth when I stopped talking. I gave her the name of the guy. She goes, okay. Instantly, she said to me, who is Craig? Who's this Craig guy? And I said, I don't know. I don't know anybody. So I said to him, how does Craig fit into this? He goes, well, Craig's the one that told me, blah, 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 blah. He was really good friends with the guy. I know Craig. Well, when's the last time you saw Craig? He was at my house yesterday. Oh. No shit. So I thought, how freaking funny. So after I hung up with him, I called Desiree. Hello. Desiree, I just want to say, do you remember in the beginning of the reading you mentioned the guy's name? Did I know him? You remember that name? Yeah, I think I said Craig. Yeah. Well, I just talked to the guy, and he knows a guy that was directly related to this, and the other guy. They're all friends. His name's Craig. She goes, wow. I said, that's it. I just wanted to call you to tell you you're amazing. Have a nice day. Bye. And that was it. Hung up. And that's not to say that my other psychic friends are not as good. All of these people that I know have great ability. White Dove. Woo-woo friend. Woo-woo dude. My dude we'll call Tom and Jerry from Australia. Jean-Claude. Michelle, White Dove, I think I said. Sharon, Michelle. Woo-woo friend. And of course, Desiree. They all have great skill. So I just want, but again, I would like to give credit when credit's due. And so I was like, wow. So I'm like, well, when you want to go? He goes, I'm actually under a car. He's like, I remember your Jeep story, and I'm under a Jeep right now. And that grommet that you were talking about is bad. He's like, I was like, well, don't let it roll. Don't let it run over. He goes, no, it's up on jack stand. I was like, all right, good. Don't let it run you over. Don't pull a J Snip now. So he's working. So he goes, hey, I'm not sure when I can go, but I'll call you later or whatever. We'll figure it out. So there he is. Of course, as I'm talking, which happens as I'm talking about phone. There it is. Never fails. Oh, woo-woo friend. Oh, woo-woo friend's calling me, texting. Oh, there it is. Happens all the time. So will we be lucky? I don't know. I will say this to all my patrons. I told you guys. It's kind of like, it's there's nowhere in my Patreon that says if you sign up, you're a shareholder in my treasure hunting expeditions or escapades. I just verbally say, if I find the big one, the one I'm searching for in New Mexico, any of those would be great. That's when I step in. Guys, I need your crypto addresses. Give me 3 or 4 of these ones. Boop. It's fixing to rain on you. Multiples of what you've paid me thus far. Stand by. That's how that's going to go. This particular little side mission, just to be clear with you, this is not that. There's not enough here, from what I understand, to start spreading that. There's not. It's smaller, much smaller, like way smaller, but still big enough for me to say, well, how long does it take me to get out? Yeah, I'll go entertain that, you know, and if we can split it, you know, great. So I just, to be clear, what I'm trying to hook people up with in my Patreon is out in New Mexico. That is what I think absolutely huge, enormous. And like I said, I've got to take care of the Indian people nowadays with whatever it takes out of that. Whatever's left. And believe me, I can... Because if it took all of it to help the Indians, well, I can't do that. I'm not going through all this trouble, risking my life, you know, doing this stuff to just give 100%. Here you guys go. And I still need more, but I'm not going to give myself and my friends anything, like, who help with anything. No. I've got some... They need to get something. The remote viewing team, Dick and those guys, they need to get something because they've helped me. Share Michelle, this one, White Dove, you know, all these people that have helped me have to get some. And then I'll carve off some too for the Patreon. And then what do I have left? Okay, I could use that big amount if I needed to. Once I've taken care of everybody, my debt's paid off, little extra money, spending money, because I'm going to need to, you know, I'd like to have that ranch, do some little woo-woo retreats or something out there. But what I'm thinking is out there, and I don't have proof of this, by the way. Like, I didn't find some old map or some old Spanish document that says, you know, this is missing and it's in this area. I don't have that. I have woo-woo telling me this is what I see that I think's in there. Oh, okay. But I think it's still substantial out in New Mexico. And that's why I freaking want to go and get it. So this thing came along, and here I am, you know, not blown away because I'm so used to this stuff now, but still pretty amazingly shocked. She says Craig. I already forgot about that name. He starts talking to me on the phone. Oh yeah, my buddy Craig. Blah, blah. Whoa. Who? Craig. Craig? How does he fit in? Oh, he knew the guy. He's the one that told me that. Oh my God, dude. She just said it this morning. She asked me who Craig is. I said I don't know. So I just texted him a while ago. Here's the recording of her saying it. Here's me asking, and he goes, got it. You know. So we'll see where this goes. I just want to share the story because this is my, like, not my backyard, but it's in my backyard. And as far as, you know, being in Florida, one day I could easily go there, not even need a hotel, just come back. I mean, it'll be a little bit of a drive, but I could still do it in one day, and that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. But I just had to share that. That was pretty cool. And I'm gonna bring some cameras, probably a couple of GoPros, whenever we do this, and record it, and we'll see what happens. Man, would that be epic if I've got this thing recording, and then, oh, what's that, dude? You hear that? Dig that up. What is that? You know, boom, epic. So awesome if that happens. Take care.